Chapter 17, Shay's Decision. After Halia got their due punishment by Hajime, we headed towards the hidden country where demahumans live. It took us about an hour to reach to the entrance of Via Belgain. It was a huge gate carved out of wood, and the same goes for the wall it was attached to. We were then promptly taken towards the elders' meeting room. On our way, I noticed that all the houses were built on trees, surrounded by lush greenery and teeming with nature. The country of Demahuman has its own unique charm. I spoke in admiration. Hearing my compliments, all the Demahumans including the Halia tribe had prideful smiles. Inside the elders' room, several beastmen elders were waiting for us. One of them had fox ears and a tail, another had wings, and the third by his characteristics likely a tiger beastman. After we entered the meeting room, Alfreric guided us to our seats. Halias were left standing behind us, and then the discussion started. Alfreric took the lead and asked questions about what we found in the depths of the Orcus labyrinth. We told them about what Oscar informed us about the magic. Hajime and I both agreed beforehand we do not need to give them that information. After more than an hour of discussion, suddenly we heard some commotion from outside. I remember this from anime, just as I thought that a burly-looking bear man came kicking the door open. Alfreric, you bastard, how dare you let the abominable child and humans enter our home, a burly bear beast man growled at the elf chief. Alfreric answered nonchalantly, I am just following the traditional rules. You are an elder as well, you should have an idea about the situation we having. Bear chief said in anger, are you telling me, these human brats have the qualification? They are those so-called strong individual which we must not turn hostile. Don't give me that crap. Those were just some bogus myths, from the beginning of the tradition none had qualified. Now you suddenly telling me they have. Don't joke with me. Saying that Bearman jumped to attack in my direction. Oh, come on, between me and Hajime he really had to choose me, I sighed mentally. I looked at Hajime hoping he would intervene, but he didn't even look in this direction, sigh. I reluctantly got up from my seat and blocked his big fist with my bare hand without moving an inch. The bear beast man tried to pull his hand, but to his dismay, I didn't lose my grip. You know, I am trying not to crush your hand with my overwhelming strength, saying that I pulled him towards me and landed a punch in his gut using only a tenth of my raw strength. It was enough to send the bear man flying out of the elder's office. After witnessing this human easily dispatching the bear chief in one hit, everyone except Alfreric and Rihido's party was astonished. They thought this human might be strong. Still, we have numbers on our side, we can overwhelm them. Or so they thought. But they were dead wrong. Now, they finally understood why there was a warning not to provoke them. Seeing one of their strongest elders manhandled by Rihido shocked the elders to their core. Hajime then spoke with a cold voice, one of you elders just tried attacking us, should I assume that you guys are our enemy? Hearing such chilling words, some of the elders flinched. I also sat back down. Why did you only send him flying? If I were you, I would have at the very least crippled him, Hajime said. Then why didn't you? I retorted. In response, Hajime clicked his tongue, tisk. Hearing our sudden banter about crippling one of their elders, the tiger chief's face became grim. NN, I have made my decision. You guys certainly have the Orcus crest ring and you people have already proven your strength by beating the bear chieftain. I have no problem with you people going to the great tree, Fox chieftain said. In reaction to him, Tiger chief snorted, ha, I do not accept them. It is said in the traditional rules to guide them if you like them, right? Well, I don't like you all. So, I am against them guiding them to the great tree, and don't think that the Halia tribe will be able to guide you. The council has decided them to be criminals for hiding the abominable child, their whole tribe will be executed. So, what will you do, brats? The tiger chief snarled at us. I was about to speak up, but Shay was a step ahead. No way, please, please, please at the least spare my tribe. It's not their fault, please spare them. Shay said in tears. Cam and other rabbitmen seeing his Shay crying tried to calm her, but to their dismay it did nothing. Listen, Shay, being born with magic is not your fault, we could never resent you. We would never wish to live, for the cost of abandoning you. The Halia tribe will always be together in any kind of situation, Cam said with a heartfelt voice. All of the Halia tribe nodded hearing their chief words. You heard that, your way to go to Great Tree has been lost now. What are you gonna do? Are you going to leave it to the possibility of getting there by luck? The tiger chief sneered. Sigh. You guys really don't take us seriously, do you? I said with boredom. Hearing my words, tiger chief scowled. Before I began speaking my thoughts, I looked at Hajime, understanding what I wanted to do. Hajime nodded at me. Do you really believe that we care about your circumstance? If we decide to force our way, do you really think you will be able to stop us? Just because we are behaving cordially, you think we will succumb to your pressure? You are blatantly mistreating Shay, who is currently under our protection. I assume you are prepared to fight us then. I released my less than bloodlust greater than, feeling my point-blank bloodlust. All the chieftains stiffened, and cold sweat poured down their backs. At that moment, all the chieftains felt like there was a sharp sword on their neck ready to take their life. Then Alfreric, the elf chief who was silent until now, spoke up. Why do you care about them? If you want a guide, we can arrange for one. They aren't even related to you, so why help them? This time Hajime spoke up. As Rihito said, we don't care about your circumstances. To execute them means to get in our way. If you are going to become an obstacle in our path, then you must prepare yourselves. Even if I say that a guide would be prepared from Fia Belganon, the elf chief asked again. Don't make us repeat ourselves, we have made our decision, I chided. Hearing that, elf chieftain sighed. Then how about this, let's take it as the Halia tribe is the slave of you too. In our tribe laws, there are states that if you are captured as a slave and taken outside the Sea of Trees, they are treated as dead. I frowned upon hearing Alfreric's words. Why do you people have this rule? Do you people not want to get your abducted family back? Alfreric answered with some sadness. Of course we want to. But outside the Sea of Trees, there is no probability of winning against an enemy who can use magic. If we try to rescue them, we will be captured instead. That is why we made a rule to avoid the magnification of victims because of imprudently chasing after them. I nodded with understanding. I see. Alfreric continued, from this point on, according to the rules, I declare the Halia tribe is dead. It is impossible to execute something which is already dead. In response to Alfreric's decision, Tiger Chief growled, what do you think you are doing, Alfreric? There is no way you can announce something like that without other elders' permission. Alfreric calmly responded. Zell, you and I both know, these humans will not retreat without Halias. If you still somehow manage to execute Halias, then we will definitely be considered hostile, and do you think we will be able to handle them? You do understand how many lives will be lost in that conflict? Zell was speechless hearing Alfreric's conjecture. In frustration, he just growled and didn't say anything. Alfreric looked at us. If you don't mind, I have a request for you people. I know it is selfish of me to ask this, but could you people not kill our brethren who might attack you in anger? Hearing such a request, Hajime frowned. Are you asking us to spare your people who deliberately want to harm us? Don't joke with me. If you are hostile, then you are our enemy. If you don't want your people to get hurt, then keep a tighter leash on them. I think we had enough talk for a day. I stand up saying that. Hajime also followed along. As for your request, we will see what we can do about it. Alfreric sighed, knowing at least they would not be killed outright. So, this is how things are. It pains me not to be able to welcome the qualified people of the traditional rules, but don't worry about it, we already got what we wanted, so there is no problem. Saying that, we started to head out. I turned around towards the broken door. But suddenly Shay jumped at me and grabbed my clothes and started crying. Sob, thank you for saving them. Seeing her crying like this, I don't know what to do. So, I patted her head. You don't have to worry. Just like I said, we have taken care of the problem, you have nothing to worry about. Hearing me, she calmed down. Shay then began to rub her face on my coat, and as she did so, her tears and snot left marks on it. I noticed this and my eyebrows twitched in annoyance. I had to use a little force to pry her away from me, muttering to myself, damn rabbit. I then used less than cleanse greater than to remove the marks from my coat. Without my knowledge, Shay looked at me with determination. She had already made up her mind to follow Rihito. She thought to herself, I will make you look at me. But for that to happen, I must first win against you. With this in mind, Shay looked at you with fiery determination in her eyes. You, who noticed this, just sighed in annoyance. It's because of Rihito that she had to deal with this troublesome rabbit. Chapter end. 13 comments, 0 vote. Chapter 18, Crazy Tribe. After we had dealt with the beastmen, about a day had passed. We were on the outskirts of the Fia Belgine, where nobody lives. We are discussing how the Halia will survive after we leave this place. Hajime proposed to train Halia, which everyone supported. At first Hajime and I, both of us supposed to train them, but I somehow convinced Hajime that I wanted to research this fog. So, I will be doing my own thing. He looked annoyed at me for dumping all the work on him. But he still agreed at last. On a side note, I saw Shay dragging you somewhere. She is probably trying to complete my challenge. Anyway, first let's check my status. I cast my status magic, nothing fancy happened, just a crimson-red screen appeared before me. Status. Name, Sakai Rihito. Age, 17 years. Gender, male. Level. Class, Flash Baron. Strength, 25,150. Vitality, 22,350. Resistance, 21,150. Agility. Magic. Magic resistance, 22,650. Skills. Flashing strike, flashing slash, superhuman speed, superhuman leap, speed strike, speed throwing, light slash, bloodlust, shockwave manipulation, shockwave blast, slashing aura, superhuman reflexes, weapon mastery, combat mastery, super adaptable body, battle instinct, mana sense, mana skin, mana conjuration, mana conversion, mana burst, future sight, tracking, telepathy, mental barrier, cleanse, water manipulation, wind manipulation, earth manipulation, fire manipulation, lightning manipulation, limit break, refresh, meditation, iron stomach, body enhancement, presence assimilation, enchantment, healing domain, airwalk, lightning clad, sense distortion, item box, language comprehension. Magic. Fire magic, water magic, wind magic, earth magic, lightning magic, dark magic, light magic, barrier magic, healing magic, fertility magic, floating magic, sealing magic, teleportation magic, illusion magic, status magic, creation magic. Resistances. Fire resistance, water resistance, wind resistance, paralyze resistance, poison resistance, physical damage resistance, mental resistance. And. Quite the collection of skills and magics I have gotten. Still, I haven't mastered even half of them. I sighed knowing there was a lot of work ahead of me. Sometimes I think, it would have been a better choice to ask for an instant mastery skill from my wish back then. Well, nothing can do about it now. I focus on my new skill, less than future psi greater than. If I remember correctly, this skill uses a huge amount of mana, which I have plenty of, so no worries there. Now that I think about it, with this less than future sight greater than and my extreme speed and senses, I really had become untouchable. No one would be able to touch me if I didn't let them in this world. I smiled in amusement. Alright, next is my new illusion magic. Let's try this out. I decided to create a 1-to-1 illusion copy of myself. I saw a fog-like substance appear in front of me. It then transformed into a duplicate of myself. Oh, this looks so real. At first glance anybody would think it's me. But when I tried to touch my illusion, it started to distort. So, I can't let anyone touch it if I ever use this on someone. Well, this magic is perfect for pranks, hee, I chuckled. Then I suddenly heard loud screams coming from where I left Hajime. Quadruple A. Wah. We are sorry. I use less than mana sense greater than to check on them. I see, so it's boot camp time. I felt pity for Halia, who was about to go through the training from hell. I will at least warn Hajime not to go overboard with them. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, illusion magic. From then on, I tinkered with my magic, hoping to find new ways to use magic as the 10 days passed. In this 10-day, I found many nifty ways to use illusion magic, such as hiding the attribute of magic. Ha, I can imagine it. I threw water magic onto my enemy only to water turn to fire and burn them. Ha, they wouldn't know what hit them. I also learned to hide myself using illusion magic, and if I also use less than presence assimilation greater than in tandem, I would be completely invisible unless someone had an ability like less than mana sense greater than. Also, I made progress with less than mana conjuration greater than. Now I am able to make weapons from long distances, and with less than archmage greater than help I can manipulate them easily. I suddenly got an idea with less than mana conjuration greater than. I created multiple swords behind me and pointed towards the trees up ahead. Fire. Boom, 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 boom. In an instant, multiple swords made of mana launched into the trees and shredded them to pieces. Ha, it worked. I was ecstatic about what I did. It reminded me of a certain arrogant king. Just then Hajime used telepathy to contact me. Oi, Rihito, come back, we will soon be heading toward the great tree. Coming, I said with a jolly voice. It was fun experimenting with magic. I headed towards the main camp. With my speed, it took me a few seconds to get there. I saw some of the Halia bring some monster tails to Hajime. I was curious as to what Hajime would do with them, so I called out. Hajime, whatcha doing with these things? I asked. He said without looking. I asked them to kill one Hybria and bring me its tail, but they instead killed all of them, and brought you their tail. I finished what he was about to say. Hajime nodded. He then asked the mentioned Halia, I remember telling you to kill only one. Why did you kill all of them? In response, Halia gave us a manic smile which reminded me of a psycho killer and said, yeah, well you see, in the middle of our hunt, more kept coming out one after another and they dared to come at us with killing intent. So, then this happened, you know. Beside him, a female Halia said, they were so annoying, but their cries of pain sounded nice. Then male Halia grabbed one of Hybria's tails, started swinging around like a baseball bat, and said, yeah, their scream of pain really sounded nice. Hearing such disturbing words, I grabbed Hajime's shoulder and asked, Hajime, I remembered warning you not to go overboard, didn't I? Then what is this? Are you trying to create a group of psycho mass murderers, or am I seeing things? Hajime didn't respond, he stayed silent. He has the look that says, well, nothing I can't do about now. Seeing him like this, veins bulged in my head, just when I was about to reprimand him. I sensed Cam with my less than mana sense greater than, he was coming towards us. I turned around and saw him. I gasped, holy shit, Cam, is that you? I said in disbelief. In front of me, a muscular rabbit man was standing before me, his body looked like a seasoned veteran kickboxer. Gone was that frail-looking old man. Ah, Rihito Dono, so you are also here. I came to inform boss of important information, you should also hear it. He informed us about some beastmen from the bear tribe who came for revenge for harming their elder. Hajime responded to his information, I see, we will deal with them. But Cam insisted on letting them handle the beastmen by themselves. After getting our permission, Cam went to prepare for the imminent fight. He then called out to his tribe, oi! You bastards, get ready, we have some prey incoming. Let's go, we will kill, 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 kill. All the Halia tribe went chanting kill like a broken record. Hajime then said, we need to watch over them, and he started to walk away. Not so fast, I grabbed Hajime's shoulder and said, before you go, we need to have a little chat about what you did with Halia. I gave him my innocent smile. For half an hour I lectured Hajime for getting carried away with their training. After that, we watched the fight between the Halia and Beerman tribes. Well, I don't know if this is even considered a fight anymore. They have completely surrounded them. With Cam's leadership, they made use of their agility, using the strategy of hit and run. The Beerman tribe is completely helpless against them. Beerman tribe. ARGG. Shit, what's wrong with them? Quadruple A. There is no way they are rabbit tribe. Halia tribe. Ha ha ha, what's wrong, come on, fight us. Is that all you got? Are your balls for decoration? Where is your pride as the strongest tribe? Unable to handle the fight against Halia, the Bearmen tribe surrendered, please we give in. Cam came forward with a cruel smile, hey, you can't just surrender like that, the fight just began, come on, fight us, aren't you guys the strongest tribe? Hearing such mocking words, Regin, the instigator of this attack, grinded his teeth. Do what you will to me, Rabbit Claw, no, the Halia tribe leader. All of this was under my orders and responsibility. So please spare my subordinates' lives, please, I beg you. Regin begged for his subordinate, he was the reason why they were in such a predicament. So, he was ready to pay with his life. But the words he wanted to hear never came, instead he got a look of disgust. I refuse, all of you are our enemy, and we kill our enemy. That's our boss's teaching, and more importantly, destroying is fun, ha 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 ha, saying that Cam swings his dagger. Regin thought it was the end of him, but the attack never hit him, it was blocked by a barrier. Hajime and I were watching all this from above them, seeing the situation worsening. I used less than barrier magic greater than to block Cam's attack. That's enough, now stand down, the fight is over, saying that I levitated downwards. Cam, seeing me, interrupts their fun. Looked at me with hostility. What is the meaning of this? Rihito Dono, why are you stopping us? I responded again, the fight is over, and now stand down. Hearing me, Cam instantly turns hostile. I see, Rihito Dono is also an enemy. The moment he says that, I release my less than bloodlust greater than at them. Halia and the Beerman tribe froze. At that moment they got the feeling as in if they moved, they would die. It was like a blade was on their neck. I stopped my less than bloodlust greater than, and then everyone who was affected by the bloodlust was on their knees panting. Did you snap out of it? I asked Cam. Ah, Rihito Dono, I am sorry, I don't know what happened just now. It was like I became something else. All the Halias also nodded along with Cam. I responded. You guys were drunk on power, you guys who were weak till a few days ago were easily able to defeat the bear men, which was unthinkable for you days ago. So, you better stay in control or you will end up like those Empire soldiers, who wanted to kidnap you, hearing that they were shocked, and hurriedly apologized. While I was dealing with Halia, Hajime talked with the bear men tribe. Hajime gave them an ultimatum: try to attack us again, then you will see everyone dead. After that, Bearman tribe went back to their city. Hajime then looked at the Halia and apologized, I am sorry. Hearing such words coming out of Hajime, the Halia tribe got even more scared. B-boss, are you okay? You are not hurt, are you? Cam hurriedly asked me. Rihito Dono, please heal the boss, his head is seriously injured. Getting such a response, Hajime looked annoyed. I, who was amused seeing this situation, unable to hold myself back, burst into laughter. Chapter end. 9 comments 0 vote. Chapter 19, Unqualified. While Hajime and Rihito dealing with demahumans, a few miles away Yu and Shay are having their final fight. It was the last chance for Shay to join Rihito on his journey. In these 10 days, Shay has fought Yu many times, but every time she loses. At first, she was very confident about defeating Yu, but it didn't take too long for her confidence to shatter into pieces. In every fight, Yu had dominated her. Shay was unable to get close to her. But Shay still didn't give up. She fought Yu with all her might. She remembers what Rihito said, the ordeal we are doing is life-threatening, one wrong move and any one of us could die, knowing you still wanted to join us. Taking those words to her heart, she faced Yu. This time I will win, no way I will give up. Shay then used her less than body enhancing greater than to increase her strength. She then ripped a tree from its roots with her bare hands, which if seen by any demahumans, they would be astonished. Even for strong demahumans like the Bearman tribe, it takes considerable effort to do what Shay did with the tree. Still, it didn't face Yu. She had already seen even more monstrous feats like her lover Hajime, who had faced the guardian who was guarding her prison floor, and then Rihito, who sliced the final floor boss in an instant. Compared to those two, this is nothing. Shay picked up the broken tree, hoisted it onto her shoulder, jumped with it, and then threw it towards Yu. In response, Yu cast her magic less than scarlet spear greater than. A few crimson-colored fire spears appeared beside her, and she then pointed at the log thrown by Shay. Shay, seeing Yu using one of her spells, took this chance to attack her from her back. But to her dismay, Yu has seen this coming. She cast less than wind wall greater than, beneath her, using it to propel herself up before the attack could hit her. Yu used her final spell in midfall to end the fight. Less than ice coffin greater than. Shay was instantly trapped in a block of ice except for her head, which Yu purposefully spared. With this, Shay was completely trapped. Shay was in tears and shivering inside the cold block of ice. She was so close to beating Yu, but at the last moment, she lost again. Shay then looked at Yu, who was standing in front of her watching. She then noticed a slight cut on Yu's right cheek. Seeing that, Shay exclaimed, you have a wound on your cheek. I did it. It's my win. Shay rejoiced in happiness. Yu then, just to annoy Shay, regenerated from the cut and said, Cut, what cut? I don't feel anything. That's your regeneration at work, isn't it? Rather get me out of this ice, it's so cold, please undo the magic, Shay said while trapped in ice. Yu grunted, fine. Yu then dispelled her magic. Achoo. Yu, I won the challenge, so please report it to Rihito, Shay said while still shivering. You do not need to worry about that, you have already proven it in front of me, so no need to worry. Really? I am counting on you then, achoo. Yu and Shay just reached the camp where Rihito and Hajime discussing things. Rihito, Shay called out cheerily. I heard a familiar voice calling me and looked up. Oh, I presume you have completed the challenge. Shay dashed towards me trying to hug me, but to her confusion, I just vanished. Wah, where did Rihito go? Shay exclaimed in confusion. While Shay was in confusion, I appeared beside Yu and asked, how did she do? While I was asking Yu, Shay continued to search for Rihito. Suddenly, she heard a familiar voice. Shay, you are back. Upon hearing her father's voice, Shay looked up with joy and exclaimed, Father, I have qualified and can now join them. Shay froze as she looked at Cam. Cam was happy for Shay, seeing his daughter so happy made him happy too, but why did she freeze all of a sudden? Father, what happened to you? Why do you look like that? Shay asked in a stupor. Cam answered, this is because of the boss's training. It's because of him we have become so strong. Hearing that Shay had a bad feeling. Ah, if it isn't Shay, a voice called out to her. Shay looked around robotically, just as she feared, something had gone wrong with her tribe. So, what's the verdict? I asked. Currently Hajime, and I inquiring about Shay's prowess. You responded, she is strong, she specializes in body strengthening comparable to half of Hajime's strength in a normal state. That's quite the strength, Hajime said. So, do both of you agree? Will Shay join us? According to what you told us, Shay has the strength. I asked for the final assessment. Hajime and you nodded. I agree to let her join us. Hajime, it's fine as long as she can pull her own weight, I don't see any problem. Just then we heard a screech coming from Shay. No. What happened to you guys? When we looked back, Cam and the other Halia were in some JoJo poses, and Shay was on her knees. JoJo pose, muttering. I looked at Hajime, who was looking away. Shay came at me crying. She grabbed my coat and tried to shake me. Rihito, what happened to them? Why are they acting like that? I looked back in the Halia direction. They were acting like they had the third grade syndrome. Not knowing what to do, I told the truth. I think it's the effect of Hajime's training. Shay then glared at Hajime like he had killed her entire family. In response, Hajime just ignored the stares. Anyway, congratulations on passing my challenge. From now on you will be joining us. I tried to divert Shay's attention, and it worked. Just as I thought, she became instantly happy and started to giggle about something about, my first step is complete, soon he will be mine, which I ignored. I then called out to Cam, all right, it's enough fooling around, we should start heading towards the great tree. The fog is weakening, take us there. Shay snapped out of it, enough daydreaming, she responded, yes. We then headed towards the great tree. About an hour and a half later. Cam, boss, and Rihito don't know we can see the great tree up ahead. So, this is the great tree, but why is it dried up? Hajime frowned seeing this. It lives up to what we thought, except the part where it dried up, I spoke. Cam then said, from what we were told from our ancestors, the great tree was always like this. It may look dried up, but it still lives. I tried to analyze the great tree with less than Archmage greater than. After scanning this tree, I found that the real tree is in a parallel dimension and this tree is the gateway to get there. Oh, a parallel dimension. I will be able to get another new skill, he. I then completely analyzed the parallel dimension and as a result, I got less than parallel dimension greater than as a skill. With it I now can create dimensions and also connect with any existing dimensions. Of course, less than parallel dimension greater than consumes a huge amount of mana. Depending on the amount of mana, the dimension will be as large as I want. Thank God. I mean goddess, I have less than Archmage greater than. If you are thinking about how less than parallel dimension greater than works. It's like the infinite prison from Tensura. I need to test it out to find out more about it. Did you find something? Hajime asked. This tree is only an imitation of the real one. The real tree is in an isolated dimension. To get to the real tree we have to open the entrance. I looked at the square stone that was attached to the tree. On the stone, the shape of a heptagon can be seen. On each point of a heptagon, there was a symbol, and one at the top caught our attention. I spoke up, that is the Orcus's symbol. Right below the symbol there is a carving for something, most likely a key. Hajime, take out the ring. Understanding what I wanted to do, Hajime took out the Orcus's ring. I took the ring from Hajime and placed it on the carving. Right after the heptagon started to glow, then text appeared inside the heptagon. For those who have reached this place, they need to provide 4 proofs, the power of regeneration, and the guidance of those bonds by destiny. To those who have everything, a new trial will be opened. What does it mean? By 4 proofs, Hajime said in annoyance. Maybe we need the proof of other labyrinths, like the Orcus ring, I chided. Then the guide of those bonds by destiny. Might be about Demahuman helping us guide here, you conjectured. You suddenly made a cut on her hand and rubbed it on the heptagon, but nothing happened. Looks like this regeneration is different from one I have. You said in disappointment. It might be another Age of God magic, we need to get that to enter this trial, I gave my thoughts. So, in the end, we can't do it right now. There is no other way, Hajime sighed. Don't worry too much about it, we will come back soon enough, and now we know there is a regeneration magic out there we need to get. So, it is not all bad, I said to Hajime. Shay asked me nervously, what will we do now? We will now be heading towards the nearest town. Hajime and I have decided it earlier, to which Hajime nodded. Cam then asked, then take us with you too, which Hajime instantly shut down. No, we can't take you all, our journey is extremely dangerous unless you are as strong as Shay, you have no chance of surviving inside a labyrinth. Then you guys can do this, how about you guys make your new home near here, we will come back here anyway, we will need help then, I proposed. Cam nodded, alright we will be waiting till then. I looked at Shay, you should say your goodbyes. It will take a long time before we come back. Ah, I have already done it, saying as she looked at Cam, Cam gave back a thumbs up with a grin in return. Hajime and I took our bikes out from our rings and said our goodbyes to Halia before heading to the nearest village. Chapter end. 7 comments 0 vote. Chapter 20, Shay's Decision 2. After we left the Sea of Trees, we headed towards the nearest village. Currently, we were crossing the deserted plain. Yu was sitting on Hajime's bike, and Shay was sitting on mine. Hey, Rihito, what will you be doing in the human village? Shay curiously asked. We will be staying there for a while to get some supplies for our journey, and most importantly, I want to eat something other than monster meat. I am sick of eating monster meat every day, I disgruntled. Hearing my yapping, from behind Hajime nodded. I see, Shay said with a wry smile, then she went back to hugging me. Soon the village was visible, judging from a distance it was about 2 to 3 kilometers ahead. Shay, seeing the human village, perked up, and said, woo, it will be the first time for me to go to a human village. Hearing that I stopped my bike, damn, I almost forgot. Hajime also stopped his bike and asked, what happened? We can't take Shay like this in the village, in there, demahumans aren't allowed. That's easy to solve, how about we put this on her? Hajime pulled out a metal collar from his treasure box, and then handed it to Shay. Put this on your neck. It's a look-alike slave collar, Hajime explains. I look at Hajime with judging eyes. Hajime, seeing my stares, asked, what? As I thought you were into kinky stuff after all, I nodded sagely. Suddenly I heard 2 gunshots. Dopann. Dopann. Which I dodged easily. Hey, don't point your gun at me, and don't worry, I don't judge. Now put your gun down, or you will be only wasting your bullets, I said with a cheeky smile. Hajime clicked his tongue and sat on his bike. Hurry up, the sun will be setting soon, we need to get to the village before that, saying that he went ahead. I looked at Shay, who was fiddling with the fake slave collar. What's wrong? I asked. Ah, nothing, I was just observing this collar, she said with a frown. After Shay put the collar on her neck, we then caught up with Hajime. We stopped about 10 meters distance from the gate and put the bikes in our respective storage. From there we started to walk toward the village. While walking I asked, Hajime, you called this a village? This place looked more like a small city than a village. Hajime responded, how would I know which is nearby, a village or city? I know jack shit about this world. I was just guessing. It is only better for us if it is a city anyway. While walking I talked with Hajime. Shay and Yu were also discussing things, girls' things, which Hajime and I both ignored. Then we finally reached the entrance. There the guard stopped us and asked for our identification. Hajime and I were trying to figure out what to do about that. I suggested I could hide everyone with illusion magic so we could get there sneakily, but Hajime rejected it. We might get caught later for that, so let's avoid doing that, Hajime said. Finding no other way, we then reluctantly show our status plate. What the hell, all of them are over 10,000, and this one is over 20,000. And so many skills as well. The guard looked at us like we were some monsters. Before the situation got out of hand, we convinced the guards that we were new labyrinth explorers who were returning from a labyrinth. On our journey we fell into a pitfall trap where our companion, the blonde-haired and blue-haired girl, had lost her status plate. Both my friend and my status plates had been damaged as well, so we now needed to replace them. Hearing our reasoning, guard gave a look of understanding. Ah, I see, so that's what happened. Then you should replace them as quickly as possible, saying he let us in. Welcome to the city, Brook. We then finally entered the city. It's been a while since we came across such a bustling place, I said. Yeah, it's refreshing really, Hajime nodded. UNN. I asked Hajime, how long will we be staying here? Today and tomorrow, after that we need to get to Risen Gorge, which is pretty near here, I nodded to that. After confirming that, we then headed towards the Adventurer Guild. The building was just like any RPG portrayed it, a building with people going in and out. On top of the entrance gate, there was a board with a giant sword symbol, most likely the symbol of the guild. We then entered the guild. Just by entering the guild many people were eyeing us, or should I say eyeing the girls with us, but the strange thing was none of the adventurers tried to harass us like the cliché in the mangas and animes. I was disappointed. I wanted to do some face slapping like that cultivation manhwa. Anyway, suppressing my disappointment, we headed toward the reception. A plump lady with a good-natured smile was at the reception desk. "Welcome to the Adventures Guild of Brook. What can I do for you?" the reception lady greeted us. Upon seeing us, the reception lady reacted, "Oh, my two handsome boys with pretty girls, it's rare to see a party like this." Ignoring the first part, I asked, "I want to trade some materials." The reception lady also followed along and responded, "Okay, for selling, right?" "Yes," I nodded. "Then please show me your status plate." Hearing her response, Hajime asked from the side, "Is that necessary for trading?" "No, it's not necessary, but if you do, you can sell 10% higher if you are confirmed to be an adventurer," the lady, guessing something, said. "Ah, are you guys newbies?" Thinking for a moment, I nodded, "Yes, we are." "Then you can register here as an adventurer. Do you want to do it together with the trade?" Hearing the suggestion, I looked at Hajime. He nodded back at me. I responded back to the lady, "Please. Is trade also done here?" I asked. "Yes, please take out your goods here." After getting the green light, I took out a pouch from my belt and handed it to the lady. The lady took the bag and opened it. Inside the bag were fangs, nails, bones, and furs. Seeing the quality of the items, lady was astonished. "These are from the monster from the Sea of Trees." Hajime asked, "Is that strange?" In response, the lady said, "Of course, it is. A normal adventurer could never get to the Sea of Trees, even if she trained for a lifetime." The lady asked, "Are you guys sure you want to sell all this here? If you go to a large city, you will get a higher price than here." "No, I appreciate your concern, but here is fine." The reception lady just smiled and completed the trade. "Here you go. All of that earned you about 88,700 ruta. I have also registered you as an adventurer, and take this map of the village, take it as a service." We thanked the lady, then we headed out. Seeing us go, the reception lady just smiled. Outside, we checked the map that the lady gave us. The detailed map highlighted where to purchase weapons and supplies, as well as recommended inns. We decided to go to the recommended inn, which was conveniently located next to the guild. We went into the inn. There was a girl in a maid uniform clearing with the broom. "Welcome to the Masaka Inn," the girl, who looked no more than the age of 14, greeted us. "Hello there, we found this place in the guild book." Upon seeing the parchment, the girl smiled. "I see, you were recommended by Catherine. How long will you be staying?" 2 days, I responded. "Then should I prepare 2 double bedrooms for you?" she said with a slight blush. Seeing both of the male guests have each girl beside them, the girl guessed they might be a couple. Furrowing my brows, I asked, "No, 1 double bedroom, and 2 single bedrooms." The maid girl has an O shape on her face. Just when the maid girl is about to agree, Shay spoke out, "No. I want to stay in the same room as Rihito." Hearing Shay's words, which were equivalent to a confession, I froze. I didn't know what to do at that moment. I mean, can you blame me? Even in my past life I didn't have a girlfriend, and to top it off, Shay beauty was top-notch, on par with Shizuku. Wait a moment, why am I thinking about her in this moment? Shaking my head. When I was about to speak, Shay took this chance to speak what was in her heart. "Rihito, I like you, I want you, I am in love with you. Shay confessed, blushing red to her ears. Noticing she still had more to say, so I waited. "I've been thinking about this for a while now, and I have finally come to a conclusion, that I love you." Shay's straight confession had me speechless. Shay is in love with me, but I don't remember raising any of her flags. Thinking that, I looked at Shay. Noticing my gaze, Shay felt nervous. Then I finally spoke. "Shay, I am flattered hearing your confession, but I don't love you romantically." Shay, hearing my rejection, instead of crying, gave me a soft smile, and said, "I know, but I still want to tell you about my feelings, and now that you know, I will declare this: Shay Halia, will not give up. I will make you fall in love with me, and this is my challenge to you." Meanwhile, Hajime and Yu watched all this like a melodrama. Thud. Suddenly someone's falling sound was heard. It came from the maid girl's direction. The maid girl fainted with a red face and rolling eyes. It seems the confession was too much to process for her. "I think we should stop talking now," I spoke out, to which everyone nodded. "But, how will we get the room keys?" Yu asked. Just then suddenly an older woman came from back. With a coy smile, she handed us 3 keys and took the fainted girl to the back. Chapter end. Sorry for the late chap, I have been having a few troubles and do not have enough time to write a chapter. 6 comments 0 vote. Chapter 21. Annoying Labyrinth. Next day, morning. Waking up from my sleep, I felt something heavy pressing on the right side of my body. The moment I was aware, I used less than mana sense greater than to check who it was. I see, it was Shay after all. She is lucky that I have made it so that my anti-intruder countermeasures will not activate on my friends, whom I have selected beforehand. Otherwise, she would have been dead meat. I moved the blanket and saw Shay hugging my waist, and drooling in sleep. Sigh. Last night right after I rejected her, instead of giving up she became even more determined and challenged that she would make me fall in love with her. After that, we headed to our room except for Hajime and you who shared a room. Then we ate and took a bath, and after that, I went to sleep. Shay might have come after I went to sleep. Well, it's also good she didn't do something weird. If she did my defensive magic would have blasted her away. MMHHH. Rihito, IWNT lat GU. Seeing Shay mumbling in her sleep, I subconsciously smiled and patted her head. Make me fall in love, huh? It's not like I refuse to fall in love, at least not yet, but maybe in future, I mumbled to myself. Then I went to do my morning ritual, leaving Shay in my bed still sleeping. After breakfast, everyone came together and went to collect the supplies. First, we went to a clothing store where Shay bought clothes the same as in anime, a bikini set similar to what she was wearing beforehand when it came to modesty. After we bought everything we needed for our trip to Risen Gorge, we saw the whole city, and at noon with a little help from Hajime, we made a weapon for Shay similar to her cannon counterpart, a big two-handed hammer. Which Shay instantly liked. It was similar to its cannon counterpart, it could launch missiles if Shay wanted to. Just like that, we spent the second day. The next day at dawn we headed to the Risen Gorge to find the entrance of Milady Risen's labyrinth. Currently, Hajime and I were watching over Shay and you who were massacring a flock of Hyveria. One hit 2 kill Dazu. Boom. Shay with her new hammer Drucken crushed 2 Hyveria in one attack. Then she twisted the hammer's grip, the hammer handle shortened, and from the hammer's side 4 cannon points came out, and launched missiles at the rest of the Hyveria, killing the rest of the flock. It looks like you are getting used to the hammer, I said to Shay. Shay, taking it as a compliment, grinned, that's because it is made out of your love. Hearing such a cringe line, my eyebrow twitched, while Hajime grinned at me. Shay cheerfully said, let's hunt a little more monsters, I still need to get used to my new partner, saying that Shay dragged you with her. While Shay and you hunted, Hajime and I searched for the entrance of the labyrinth. If I remember correctly it should be somewhere inside a cave. I have tried to use my mana sense, but to my annoyance in Risen Gorge mana quantity is extremely thin, and because of that it is difficult to use less than mana sense greater than in this place. Hajime, did you find anything? I asked Hajime. No, I got nothing on my side, he responded. I think we should start making our camp, Hajime continued. Before I could respond, I heard Shay calling us. Ryatu, Hajime, come here, hurry, we found something. After hearing that, Hajime and I both looked at each other and nodded. Is this it? Hajime said with a weirded out look. Maybe, it might be. My look mirrored as Hajime's. Currently, we were standing before a stone wall where it said, Welcome to the Mildy Raisin Doki Doki Waku Waku Great Labyrinth. Well, at least the name match, I said while scratching my head. You see this, I was the one who found this, puffing her chest up, Shay announces. Good job, I praised her. No, a simple praise is not enough, I need a kiss, Shay demanded. Denied, my response was instantaneous. Wah. And here I thought it would be easy, Shay acted like she was hurt and put her hand on the stone wall. Wah. Suddenly the wall flipped like one of those ninja secret doors, taking Shay inside. After seeing such a bizarre scene, we also followed along, and the moment we entered a dozen arrows came at our vitals, which was no problem for us. With my speed I just dodged. Hajime and you also didn't have a problem with arrows. A booby trap, if it was anyone besides us they would have been instantly dead or critically injured, to which Hajime and you nodded. I looked around. Did find Shay. Where did Shay go? I spoke out loud. Rihito, you called out to me. What happened? I responded. She then pointed me on my left. I followed that direction and found Shay stuck in a wall full of arrows. This scene was comically straight out of Looney Tunes, which I used to watch. You okay there? I asked in concern. I am fine, she responded. I then helped get her out of there. Still, my concern wasn't diminished. Don't look at me like that, I have just happened to be caught off guard, this won't happen again, she said with her optimistic nature. My worry lessened seeing her smile. Okay, you better stay vigilant. I still warned her again. Shay responded, "Hi," then Shay noticed a stone tablet behind me. "Oh, look, there is something written on the stone tablet, let's see." Shay, wanting to be useful, hurriedly went to the stone. This time she didn't touch the stone, she just read loudly so everyone could hear it. "Did you freak out? You freaked out, right? Hee hee. The one who got caught in an easy trap like this must be pretty stupid, hee hee hee." Upon hearing what was written on the tablet, Shay froze for a few seconds, not just Shay. Hajime and you were baffled as well. Shay suddenly pulled out her weapon Drucken and started smashing the stone tablet into pieces. After the tablet was smashed, Shay sighed in relief, but then everyone noticed that beneath where the tablet was situated there was something written in there. Boom, boom, boom. In anger, you broke the tablet, didn't you? Too bad for you. This tablet will repair itself after a while, hee hee hee. Shay, unable to hold her anger anymore, started smashing the ground like a berserker. Annoying Dazu. Take this and this and THISS. Boom, 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 boom. Seeing this, Hajime said, "This great labyrinth is not going to be easy either, huh," he sighed. "If this labyrinth were that easy then many would have completed it by now," I said, shrugging my shoulder. After Shay's anger had lessened, we then started exploring the labyrinth. Just by entering this labyrinth, we have noticed many differences from Orcus's labyrinth. If he was focused on battle, this one is focused on surprise attacks and traps. Guys, I think we have lost," I spoke out loud. Shrugging, Hajime said, "Isn't that obvious? This labyrinth is built like a maze, it's easy to get lost here." I am sure whoever built this labyrinth is rotten to the core," Shay angrily huffed. "We all know how you feel, but it's about time you calm down," I tried to calm Shay. "Fine, I will be calm, but it's only because you said so," Shay responded with a pout. "Anyway, let's head that way and be careful of traps." At that moment I suddenly pressed down a tile on the floor. Suddenly 4 sawzall blades came out from the wall right near our faces, trying to rip it apart. For me, it was easy to avoid, same goes for Hajime and you. Shay had a little problem because of her long ears, but she still managed it. "Shay, are you okay?" I asked with concern. "I thought my ears were goners," Shay tremblingly said. "Tisk, this trap was a physical trap without any magic use, that's why we didn't sense it coming," Hajime grumbled. "Also, we can't use low-level magic here, it will be instantly dispelled. Only intermediate or higher spells are working barely. You shows us by casting a fireball spell. Still, spell-like enhancements are working fine though, might be because mana is not released from the body," I pointed out. You nodded and continued, "It seems only a physical enhancement type spell can work here," to which everyone nodded along. "It seems everything depends on you and me, Shay." I looked at Shay, who had a slightly stunned look on her face. Shay snapped out of it and responded, "I will do my best." She looked at us determinedly. Chapter end. Here is a second chapter for you guys. Next chap will come next week by 9 comments 0 vote. Chapter 22, The Hidden Path. Shay was delighted and excited to get dependent on this labyrinth. She looked happy to be relied on by others. So, she decided to walk forward and take charge to protect her friends. She will make sure that everyone will get out of here alive. We then started exploring the labyrinth, and suddenly Shay activated another trap. Suddenly the floor under us vanished. Reacting to this situation, I tried to use my speed, but from out of nowhere a large amount of weight fell onto me. It stopped me from moving. Unable to react because of increased weight, we fell into the trap. Hajime and I fell first. Then Shay and you followed after, and both of them fell on top of us, and from there we started to slide down to the unknown destination. "I have a bad feeling about this," I blurted out. Hajime, "No shit, Sherlock." Shay, "I am scared." You can't use magic." I tried to slow down, but this damn place keeps decomposing my magic, and from the looks of things Hajime and you are also having the same problems. I then noticed the path is about to end. I took out a grappling gun from my less than item box greater than. Shay grabbed me tightly. Shay followed my instructions and grabbed me like a koala. I noticed Hajime pulling out his gun as well. Just then the slide ended and we were thrown into a room full of spikes. From the looks of things each spike looked to be 5 to 6 feet long. Hajime and I used our grappling guns and swung to the other side of the room where a door-sized passage was situated. We swung inside the passage. "Rihido, we finally made it." Hajime, "Yeah." Shay, "I thought we were about to die." That was a close call." Hajime then looked at me with questioning eyes. "Rihido, why didn't you use your cheating speed to get us out of there?" I sighed and answered. I tried, but at that moment something or someone put a large amount of weight on me, enough to stop me from moving for a few seconds. Hajime frowned hearing my explanation. We were continuing our talk but you called us. Hajime, Rihito look, we looked at you who was pointing at a stone tablet, which gave me déjà vu. We got near the tablet, as I expected there was something written on it. I then reluctantly read the content. That was so close. So lame. Suppose you are tired just by this. Then, it gonna be hard for you. Hee hee hee. Reading the content, I clenched my teeth, and my hands were shaking in anger. The same goes for Hajime, you, and Shay. Calm down. Calm down, take a deep breath. I took a deep breath and calmed myself down, let's ignore this. We need a break, let's eat first. We will continue after, to which everyone agreed. 1 hour later. After we had rested enough, we started to explore this maze again. Every room we came across was filled with some kind of trap, like a room full of monsters, a shrinking room, a poison room, a room full of insects etc. And the thing is that not even the worst thing is the taunt that comes after. We stopped reading the stone tablet after we got caught in a trap for the second time, but to our dismay that damn tablet has a voice feature that read the text on its own if everyone ignores the tablet. I swear if I ever found Milady Raisin, that day will be her last, grah, Shay growled. I know Shay how you feel, but for now calm down, I am getting a bad feeling from this passage. You are not the only one. Hajime chided. Then a click sound was heard again. Hajime and I looked back, Shay had activated a trap again. You, this flag rabbit. Shay, I didn't do this on purpose. Suddenly a rumbling sound could be heard from our front. Gorgor. Hajime, you got to be kidding me. Rihito, seriously. We both spoke simultaneously. Seeing a giant metal ball rolling towards us. Shay and you panicked. It's a giant rock. Shay said in a panic. You said, we should run away for now. Saying that both were ready to run. But as for me and Hajime, we didn't move a muscle. Hajime, I am tired of this bullshit. Saying that Hajime pulled out a pair of pitch black metal gauntlets, and put them on. The moment Hajime put on the gauntlet it gave off red sparkles and extended to cover up to his shoulder on both hands. Hajime's hands currently looks like its anime counterpart. Shay and you noticing us not moving looked back at us. There Rihito and Hajime were standing and glaring at the boulder. Hajime then took a step forward and took a punching stance. Hajime, again and again, always getting beaten. That's not MMYYYSTYLLLEEE. Hajime roared and activated less than mana burst greater than, less than body enhancement greater than, and less than lightning clad greater than simultaneously and punched the boulder. Boom. The impact of Hajime's fist scattered the boulder into pieces. But the trouble didn't end there, behind the first boulder there was a second boulder. Hajime seeing that didn't feel shocked instead, he had a wild grin and said, Rihito next one is yours. Mirroring Hajime's grin, I at that moment used less than body enhancement greater than, less than shockwave blast greater than and less than speed strike greater than in tandem. But this time instead of smashing the second boulder. Boom. If you don't remember what speed strike is then you can read chapter 9 or search in wiki or wait until I make an auxiliary chapter of mixed status. I used the force of less than speed strike greater than, and less than shockwave blast greater than to send the boulder flying backwards where it came from. The boulder shot like a bullet. After a few seconds, we heard an explosion. Boom. We waited there for a while to see if any more boulders were coming. Seeing that no boulders are coming anymore. We then continue to go through the passage ahead. It took us a few minutes to get to the end of the passage. There we saw the boulder was stuck in some kind of round gate. I got close to it to check it out. I tried to see through the gaps the stuck boulder had created. What I saw had me agape. Behind this damn door there were rows upon rows of boulders waiting to get released. Hajime seeing me stand still, questioned me, what happened? I pointed my finger at the cracks. Seeing me pointing, he got curious. He then came closer to see. The sight behind the cracks shocked Hajime. There are rows upon rows of metal balls same as the two they dealt with. I think we dodged a bullet, Hajime said with nervousness. Suddenly, you called out to us and pointed at a door. It was a door with an intricate design, unlike any we had seen in this place. Seeing that door I muttered, is it only me or is that door giving off a boss room vivace? I think we found a shortcut, Hajime responded. Hearing his conjecture everyone looked at him, noticing our curiosity he started to explain. I think this way is supposed to be unreachable. From what we found, those boulders should keep coming one after another until we retreat and go the other way. But Rihito's last blow threw the boulder back and blocked the mechanism to release more boulder. Everyone nodded hearing Hajime's conjecture. Alright everyone, we should prepare now. If that door really is the boss room, we need to prepare for anything, I said in seriousness. To everyone nodded. Then prepared ourselves. I took out my trusty odachi, Shay pulled out her drukken from her ring, and Hajime handed 2 water tanks to you which can release high-pressure water jets, and lastly Hajime with his 2 guns Donner and Schlag. Hajime and I will be the vanguard, Shay will be the rear guard, you will support us from the back, and if any trouble occurs on you's side, Shay will be the one to support her and vice versa, and that also goes for me and Hajime. Any question? I asked for the final time. Alright, let's win this. Yeah, X4, everyone cheered. We then took our position. I then stepped forward and pushed open the door. This room looked like a throne room. On both sides of the room, there is a row of knights armed. Step, step, step. As we stepped forward vigilantly, Hajime spoke, what is this room? It looks like a throne room. Yeah, but the thing is except for the throne we need to get to that door on the other side, I pointed. Guys, am I the only one getting the feeling of someone watching us? Shay asked in trepidation. No, your senses are on point, someone is watching us for sure, I responded. Hajime, we should get to the next room. Keep moving. Just when we reached the center of this room, suddenly, all the armor started to move and pointed their weapon at us. Wah, armors are moving, there are so many of them, Shay said in unease. Everyone get ready. And Shay, I called out to her. Show us what you got, you can let loose now, to which everyone smiled. Rihito, Shay spoke in a soft voice which nobody could hear. You have endured my special training. Your strength as my disciple is guaranteed by me, Hajime, and Rihito, you said with a smile. At that moment Shay's nervousness vanished. She finally sees that Rihito and others are treating her like a teammate, that she is not a burden, and to prove that she will fight. Yes, I understand, Shay Halia will start rampaging all I want. Saying that Shay jumped towards a night golem with a giant sword. Boom. Boom. Shay was smashing armor one after another. Seeing her rampage like that we also followed along. I used my Muramasa cutting down all the night golems nearest to me one after another. Sheeing. Clang. On my left Hajime used his guns torning down the armor. From our back, Yu is giving us support with her new weapon. But still, there is no end to this. Hajime, I called out. I think these damn armors are regenerating, we need to get to the next room or there will be no end to this. Hearing our conversation, Shay responded, but how, the door is closed. That's no problem. I have something that will deal with it. Hajime then pulled out a black cross-shaped looking launcher, Orkan. Everyone close your ears, saying that he fired it on the closed door. Bang. Boom. Seeing the door get blasted by Hajime's weapon. Yu complimented, that was amazing power. Of course, it is, it's a fucking missile launcher, I retorted. In one hit of his Orkan, he obliterated the door. Hajime, alright everyone, let's get going before it starts regenerating, so hurry. I then used my less than shockwave blast greater than to knock back all the remaining golems. Let's go. On the other side of the door, there was a passage heading to an opening. We dashed towards the passage, and from behind golem knights were still following us. The moment we reached the end of the passage we noticed that in this room there was no floor except for many cubes floating in the air. Noticing the golems were getting close, we jumped on the closest cube. Shay, finally some rest. Hajime, don't let your guard down, this might be the boss room. I knowing what would come hurriedly started to scan my surroundings. Hajime noticing the serious look on my face readied himself to fight. Rihito, did you feel something? He called out. But then suddenly, boom. Chapter end. Hello guys. I have noticed not many of you are commenting, please give me some comments about this FF. If you do not say anything I won't know if my story is getting better or worsening. 12 comments 0 vote. Pissed. Download the app for additional rewards. More events, more perks. Winning you more free perks. Download now. RoneGreninja. Download app now. Chapter 23, Milady Ricin Pav. In the middle of the Great Canyon of Ricin Gorge lies one of the 7 great labyrinths known as the Great Ricin Labyrinth. It is said these labyrinths were created by the liberators who rebelled against the god, Ehit, in ancient times. They say the Liberator's reason was to destroy the world. The god Ehud seeing this declared them enemies of the world, thus losing all the support from their closest allies. The Liberators found the whole world against them, so they created these 7 great labyrinths for their hiding. From ancient times, many have tried to conquer these labyrinths. But their number might be at most 5 who were able to complete a labyrinth. Current time. About a 1.5 day ago. At the center of the Ricin labyrinth, there lies a chamber where a hooded person watches a group of 4 in a crystal ball. This was none other than Milady Ricin, the master of this labyrinth. It's been a while since someone has tried to attempt to come inside my labyrinth. I wonder if these people are the ones who might grant our wish. Anyway, I was getting bored. It's good that new challenger has come. This time I will be personally watching over their trial. He. I have to say I like this blue-haired rabbit girl. She always activates the funniest trap in the place. Milady watched the crystal ball, which was showing a blue rabbit dodging the scattered acid fluid, which even the slightest touch could melt your body in seconds. After watching them for half a day, it can be seen that they have the potential to beat that bastard. The white-hair eye-patch kid with his peculiar artifacts. From the looks of things, it uses an explosion to shoot projectiles at high speed, and with a little bit of magic, it can almost pierce through anything. Next is the black-haired kid with a long curved sword. At first glance, he looks normal fighting with a long sword, but the strange thing is this kid is fast, extremely fast. He is so fast that he dodges my every trap easily. That's no fun. Alright, it's decided in the next big trap I will make sure he will not escape it, he. Ops, I am getting distracted. Then there is this blonde girl. Wow, I thought all the vampires were ordered to be killed by that bastard, and still, here she is. From the looks of things, she is not a normal vampire either, a vampire with a unique skill and a high affinity with magic. They are shaping up to be a good team. And finally, my favorite, the rabbit girl. Well, it's quite rare to see a demohuman with an average magic affinity and unique magic, but in this case that is not a problem. She is a melee fighter. So, it's a pretty good team. But still, do they have what it takes to reach me? Oh, they are ignoring my messages. How mean. It's too bad for them that I have already considered that, so I set up a voice mechanism for this kind of situation. Oh, they are finally here. I want to see how they will react after seeing the never-ending boulders. Here the first one comes, and not to my surprise the eye-patch kid easily smashed the first one, but, how many can you break before you give up? Ah, and here comes the second one. Oh, now it's the black-haired kid's turn, huh? I wonder how long will they last until they inevitably run the other way, which is full of fun traps. But things turned out differently than she thought it would. Seeing the black-haired kid send the boulder flying, she exclaimed in shock. What the hell? How did this happen? Those boulders are over 5 tons in weight. Breaking them, I understand, but send them flying like that. She was speechless. In her long life, she had never seen something like this. On top of that, kid's counterattack had broken the mechanism of releasing more boulders. Oh no, they are heading this way, she panicked. Damn, all my plans are wasted, she thought in dejection. Well, nothing I can do about now. She then instantly changed her mood 180. I should prepare for the final trial. Will they win against me, or they will lose? I am very excited to find out. After waiting for a while, they came running from the passage, avoiding my night golems chasing them. I waited until they relaxed their guard. It didn't take too long for my chance to come. I used my gravity magic and threw a platform on top of them. Boom. If they can't survive a surprise attack like this, then they don't have a chance against that bastard who is even more despicable. After the dust has settled, I saw them alive. They were currently on a different platform, and from the looks of things they were shocked, and I took this chance to reveal myself. I then made a cool entry before them, controlling my strongest golem, the so-called boss of this labyrinth. I greeted them. Congratulations, you have made it to the final floor. Chapter end. A bit of a short chapter. Sorry about that. 3 comments, 0 vote. Chapter 24, V's Milady. The moment I looked up, my instincts alarmed me of danger. I used my speed without a second thought and everything became slow at a snail's pace. I then started to move. I grabbed Hajime, Yu, and Shay carefully and sent them to the other platform one by one. I had to do this carefully. One wrong move and I might snap a limb or two, and it actually helps that their body is more resilient. While I was moving Hajime, I noticed he was looking at me. It was not unexpected. I was not using my full speed anyway. Unlike Hajime, you wasn't able to notice me, and as for Shay, it looks like she was absent-minded. No, it looks like she is in a trance. Then I remembered she has that skill. It might have shown what would happen through her skill less than future sight greater than. After I made sure everyone was at a safe distance, I stopped using my speed and started to sync with the world. Suddenly Shay tried to grab me in panic. Knowing what she was about to do, I hugged her to make her calm, and spoke, "Calm down, I know what you want to do, no need to worry, we are safe now." Shay at first tries to resist Rihito's hug. She has seen the future again, and this place is dangerous. She has to take everyone to safety or everyone will be in danger. She then heard Rihito's voice, "Calm down, I know what you want to do, no need to worry, we are safe now." Everyone is safe, what does he mean? Shay confusingly thought. Boom. Shay heard an explosion behind her. She looked back to where the explosion occurred and she saw the same view as in her vision. She looked back at Rihito questioningly. Seeing her questioning look, I said, "We will talk later about this, get ready, something is coming." Hajime and you were shocked to see the platform they were standing on previously was smashed by something. Hajime spoke out unconsciously, "If Rihito hadn't saved us, we would have died there." Hearing Hajime, you nodded, NN. Then, Hajime and you heard that an enemy was getting near, so both of them got ready to confront whatever was coming. Then we saw two orbs of blue light coming toward us from upward. Seeing that, we prepared ourselves for the inevitable fight that was to come. After a certain distance, it was seen those orbs were the eyes of a giant golem, which was closing in on us. The golem floated before us, creating a menacing atmosphere, giving off the feeling of flight or fight, where our choice was obvious. But just at that time, a cutesy voice was heard, "Congratulations, you have made it to the final floor," shattering the whole serious atmosphere. The voice, which came from the golem before us, continued, "Nice to meet you. I am the one beloved by all, Milady Rysen-chan." Hearing her talking so nonchalantly, we were speechless, not knowing what to say. Milady continued, "Hey, why are you guys not replying? It's good manners to answer when someone greets you, right? Good heavens, don't you youngsters have common sense nowadays?" she said in mock anger. Hajime spoke up, "Oi, Milady Rysen is supposed to be dead, right? When we conquered Oscar Orcus's dungeon, I read it in his diary. It was written there that Milady Rysen was a human girl with a petite body and golden hair." As they continued talking, I started to analyze the golem. Her golem's head alone was as tall as Hajime's body. From there I estimated her body size might be somewhere around 15 to 16 meters tall. Then, with less than archmage greater than, I notice her magic core is on her chest, which is reinforced with enhancement magic and some kind of regeneration magic. Regeneration magic. Seeing that, my eyes widened, I started to analyze it. I hoped to get regeneration magic, but instead, I got a less than regeneration greater than skill. This skill was similar to use. I was hoping to get the regeneration magic. Oh well, with this, healing magic, and less than archmage's greater than never-ending magic supply, killing me is almost impossible unless conceptual attacks are thrown at me. Just then I heard Milady ask a question in a solemn voice, which surprised me. "Tell me. What is your objective? Why are you all gathering all the Age of God magic?" Her mood instantly shifted, her bubbly personality was nowhere to be seen. She asked us, "Why do I seek the Age of God magic?" Hearing that question, I was stumped. Why? Because I wanted power. That's obvious. Then what? I asked myself. I was in a dilemma. I just realized that I don't have a goal for the future. I know sooner or later I will have all the Age of God magic, then what? I need time to think about it. Oi, Blackhead, why are you ignoring me? I snapped out from musing and saw Milady's golem head was right before me. Why are you ignoring me? I have been calling you for a while now. Ah, sorry about that, I was just thinking about what you just said, I apologized. I see, so you were thinking about your future goal, Milady said. So did you find your answer? She asked. I shook my head in denial. I don't have a true goal in mind yet. For now, I will follow Hajime. Who knows, I might find my own goal by following him around. Hajime, hearing my answer, shrugged his shoulder and said nothing. I see, she said in a sing-song voice. Oi, I have one last question for you, Hajime asked in seriousness. What is your Age of God magic? Hearing that question, everyone got serious and ready to fight. HMMFUFUFUFU, that's I won't tell, you have to find out yourself. Hearing her reply, Hajime gave a wild grin, then, die. DOPANN. Clang. Hajime shot first, but the attack did nothing to the golem's body. It was easily deflected. That preemptive strike was pretty good. But an attack like that is not enough to defeat me. I am strong, you know. So be careful and don't die easily, Milady said mockingly. Is that so? Then what do you think of this attack? I used less than body enhancement greater than and less than speed strike greater than, then used my Muramasa's pointed tip to attack the chest of the golem where the core resided. Clang. Crick. Crick. But to my dismay, it didn't pierce through the armor, at the very least it damaged her. But then I noticed the damage was slowly healing. Wow, you almost scared me, too bad your attack didn't work completely, and I won't give you a chance to. Saying that suddenly many of the night golems appeared behind her, and every one of them was holding a weapon of some kind. You see, this is my power. Have you seen a flying golem? You are shocked, right? She asked in a glee-filled voice. Bang, bang. Slice, slice. Boom. Seeing her golem legion get annihilated, Milady uttered in a confused voice. Had nobody ever said to you you talk too much, Hajime said in an annoyed tone. In his hand, he was holding, Orkan. On his side, Yu with her pressured water tank stops attacking the night golem after shredding them. If they are floating, that's just an easy target for us, and you are annoying. Seeing the area was clear, I got close to them, and Shay also followed me. Then I hurriedly explained, there is a core inside her armor we need to destroy, for that, be ready to pull that out, I said to Hajime. Hajime understood what I meant and nodded. Now Shay, be ready for my signal, to win this fight your follow-up is necessary, Shay nodded determinedly. Shay didn't understand everything, but she trusted Rihito, so she would do her best. First Shay and I will distract her. You use your previous attack to support us and prepare for a big spell, and Hajime, in this window of time you need to prepare everything, to which Hajime nodded. Let's go. The whole planning took about 5 seconds, but with our superhuman senses that was plenty of time. Oh, so you guys planned enough, should I give you a little more time, Milady mockingly said. No need, that was plenty. Then as planned, Shay and Rihito attacked. Rihito attacked from the front and Shay came from the back. To fight back, Milady pulled out a morning star and clashed with me. Clang. She swung it erratically, blowing me away. Then swung it towards Shay. Shay blocked the attack with her Druken. Just then Milady's one of the previously summoned Knight's Golem appeared behind Shay and was about to slash her back. But before it could, Yu used her high-pressure water cannon to slash the Knight. Slice. Slice. Seeing Yu covering for Shay, Milady was impressed. You guys' teamwork is quite good, but it will take more than that to defeat me. I have limitless regeneration, you know. We know that. You thought we would forget, Yu responded. She continued, you should pay more attention in a fight. Bang. Suddenly something crashed with Milady. The clash of impact was strong enough to throw her to the nearest platform. Boom. There Rihito was standing on top of her armor with a grin and said, miss me. After Rihito was bashed away. Damn, that hurt, but this is a good chance to do a big attack. I activated less than superhuman leap greater than, less than flashing strike greater than, and less than slashing aura greater than. Using these three I leapt toward Milady. Bang. Seeing I brought her down from the air, I said, miss me. My attack had cracked down quite a bit of her chest armor, but the same goes for my Muramasa. After this fight is over, I will make you even better, I thought to myself. If you think that's enough to win, then you are delusional, Milady retorted. Sensing danger from my left, I moved away. Where I was standing there was a floating morning star. Ah, you dodged that as expected of someone who has completed Oscar's Labyrinth. I should get serious as well, Milady's tone was ominous. Milady started to float again and took the morning star at hand. Let's begin round 2. The moment she said that, I sensed danger from up ahead. Everyone dodge. Saying that, I jumped away. From every direction, one by one platforms were flung in our way. Then suddenly Hajime shouted, it's gravity magic. Wow, you got it faster than I expected. That's right. My magic is gravity. As a reward for finding out my magic, you shall be first to face this attack. Milady's morning star transformed into a falling morning star. Milady swung the mace in Hajime's direction at full throttle. Hajime took a stance and used less than diamond skin greater than, less than mana burst greater than, and less than body enhancement greater than. With the combined power of all three, he shattered the maze. Seriously. To receive it head-on like this, Milady was shocked. She thought he would dodge, but instead he took it head-on. How absurd. I have already seen a similar trap before, and this attack will bring you straight to death. Now go. Hajime exclaimed. Taking this distraction, I and Shay jumped at her chest. I pulled out 2 gauntlets and equipped them, then I used less than mana burst greater than, less than speed strike greater than. IMG. Shay uses less than body enhancement greater than with her Drukin to attack. Boom. Both of our combined power was enough to send her flying to the nearest platform. You took this chance to use the highest level of magic she could in this current state of mana decomposition, less than cryo prison greater than, many chains of ice shot towards Milady binding her to the ground and freezing her golem body. Milady asked in astonishment, no way. Why can you use high-level magic here? You answered, because when you were distracted by Rihito and Shay, I was constantly using my magic to spread water in your surroundings and waiting for my moment to cast magic. Although that still used almost all my magic. I see, but I still haven't lost yet, just when she was about to continue. I cut in, you are too late for that. Hajime used my shoulder as a springboard and used less than limit break greater than, less than mana burst greater than, and less than body enhancement greater than. He used all three and attempted to use his pile bunker. At point blank he launched the spike. The spike almost broke through the armor, but at the last moment, Milady somehow managed to free her left arm and attack a pile bunker to change the trajectory. Milady attacked, broke the pile bunker, but the spike released from it was stuck in the armor. Milady gloatingly laughed and said, ha ha ha, what a shame. You were so close. Hajime snarled, you talk like you have already won. Ignoring Milady, I shouted from the back, go Shay. Now is your chance to end it. Shay roared, using her Drukin to push the spike inside, finally smashing the core inside. Milady shouted in panic, W hot. NNOOOOO. Bang. Crackle. Crick. Crick. Crackle. Boom. Chapter end. AN. If you like my story, give me Power Stone and comment. It will motivate me plenty. Thank you. Next chapter.